greens and outdoor scenes design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, and every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you, just for you. In the morning sun, where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, greens and outdoor scenes. Design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design. Free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand. Every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant. Welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant. In every shade and room, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello plant. Welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant. In every shade and room, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, plant.
Alright, hey everyone, welcome to our Monday live Q&A. We're a bit late today, so
Our late live.
hopefully you hung in there, and we did get a couple of questions for Chris. This is the live Q&A with Chris, so we might just get stuck straight into the questions, our gardening questions. So,
And so what
how
it
does
is, if you've
go
got
on.
any gardening questions, and it could be like any sort of thing, like what to fertilise your lemon with, should you really weigh on your lemon, any sort of questions like that, about soil or correct position, whether to plant something in the sun or the shade, or maybe maybe your Chinese gooseberry is not fruity. Whatever the problem, give us, put your question on, and we'll answer it. And we've got. How long do we go for? An hour?
We'll go for about a while. We'll probably go for 30 minutes from here.
45. Do 45.
45
Yeah.
if we can. Yeah. All right. And for those of you who left us a question, if you're still with us, we're going to answer them now. So, Katie asks, going to build a garden under my Leighton green conifers. It gets afternoon direct sun, Brisbane. What would you recommend I plant underneath them? Underneath Leighton green conifers.
You want some stuff that's really, really hardy.
Yeah.
You could grow Asiatic jasmine. You could grow Nandinas.
Nandinas would be nice with the green.
And perhaps spring pearl.
Pearl.
Good, because they're going to be competing with the Leyland cypress, so you need something really good and hardy.
Yeah, and they'll grow good in Brisbane?
Yeah, your spring pearls do really well up there. So your spring pearl is a sort of a variation of the better known oriental pearl, and that's a really good hardy shrub. Nandinas would be great, and you'd find that your Asiatic jasmine would do really well there too. And Asiatic jasmine, lovely ground cover, lovely lush green ground cover that lasts years and years and years.
Awesome. All right. Hopefully, Katie, you're still with us. And then she just added here, they are only 165 centimetres tall at the moment, but assume they will shade the area eventually.
Yeah, so that's why I was mentioning things that would be shade hardy.
Yeah.
And now's a good time to get stuff in there, because as they get bigger, it's going to get harder and harder to establish something. So while you've got them nice and small at 165, now's the time to get some other things in.
All right, there you go, Katie. Our next question comes to us from I don't know how you pronounce that, Dwaraka Hampton's farmhouse. Hello, we planted our Sunday Fraise hydrangeas in front garden, but due to sun and heat, the flowers burn and leaves look burnt up as well. How do we keep them fresh and healthy? We water generously too.
More water. That's it. Just more water. You might have to water a couple of times a day to keep them really good in the hot sun. Maybe use a little bit of soil wet as well. But up the water. The grower who grows all of our Sunday fraise grows them in a hot sunny paddock, but he's very generous with the water.
Hot sunny paddock, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. More water is the answer for your hydrangeas.
Yeah, more water more often.
That's it. Now, Chris, maybe we're just while we're waiting for the customers to roll in, and again, don't feel shy. Just ask Chris a question about your garden or gardening project, or maybe you have a problem in the garden that you want to get fixed. Chris will be able to answer it for you in this live. And he answers the questions live. You can see if you can, he's got 60 years of horticultural expertise under his belt, so
Yeah.
see if you can stump him with a difficult gardening question if you can. But it's pretty much near impossible with Chris. He pretty much knows the answers to everything. Dwaraka Hampton's Farmhouse says, thanks, Chris. So yeah, bring the questions in, but while we're waiting for those questions to roll in, do you maybe want to go over some of our good online goodies or specials we have at the moment?
Right. Okay. What you want to do is we're bringing out in the next couple of days. We'll be bringing out our best ever shopping online incentives. Like at the moment, if you spend over $100, you get a free Gardenia Magnifica,
Yes.
valued at $30. But what we're doing is we're going to bring out some even more generous offers and some different offers to make it more exciting and more fun to go online, and like the best offers that we've ever had.
Yeah, we've got 4 coming, don't we? 4 different specials.
And with our Magnifica offer, we actually had our busiest week ever online. Our busiest week for ages and ages, not ever, but for ages and ages. Certainly off season, like it's not springtime or anything.
Yeah.
For an off season time, we had one of our best weeks ever, and so what we decided to do is up the ante and put on even better offers.
Great.
And so if you watch online or watch for our various emails and ads and things like that, I can't reveal what we're putting out now, but it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, beautiful. And do you want to tell us maybe about some of those flowers you got around you at the moment? Like, are they sort of specials, or what have we got here in front of you?
And another thing, auction this week.
Do we know what it is?
I've gone through the nursery, and I wanted something that was very desirable, very sought after.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is I'm doing an enormous 100-litre forest pansy. And like last week, what happened?
Oh, amazing! Doing a forest pansy, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, 100-litre one, a beautiful one.
Wow.
And
okay. Definitely don't want to miss out on that one if you.
And forest pansy, the fabulous. They've got this big purple heart-shaped leaf, and they have beautiful pink blossom in springtime, and fabulous trees. Now, what's happened the last couple of weeks? We auctioned off a giant, a really well-established 14 or 15-year-old weeping maple. A red weeping maple. It was absolutely enormous. It was over 6 foot tall, fabulous tree, and it had a value of $1,300, and I think it went for under $400. So the person got it really.
That was crazy. The first one we did, they got a great deal.
This week we did a $700 weeping cherry, a white weeping cherry, beautiful big one with a big thick stem like that, enormous head over a metre across. Here it is. Yeah. So we did this big weeping cherry. And it had a value of $699, and it went off. Was it just over $400?
Just under $500. $482 it went for.
$482. So for just under $500, so somebody got a $700 weeping cherry for $482.
Yeah.
So this week it's a beautiful forest pansy. So watch out for that, and you could join us at the live and put in a bid. And the reserve on this forest pansy is 10 cents. So if nobody much wants a forest pansy, you might get it. You might go for it 200, 150, 20, $10, 10 cents. Who knows? So there you are. So that's your forest pansy reserve of 10 cents.
Crazy good. And I was just going to say, those flowers around you, we've got them as part of our Bogan Growers Direct Flash Sale. You've got bougainvilleas on the right there of Chris, or left, depending on how you're watching the video. And Chris has left, you're right. And you can purchase those if you go to our live sales tab on the website, helloplants.com.au. We've got a really big selection of bougainvilleas at the moment. And you can see we've got some other cool kind of tropical flowers in there, like hibiscus And what's the other one there? The orange one. What's that? There's like
That's
looks like a succulent of some kind.
That's
is it?
a tuberous begonia.
Oh, it's a begonia. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then behind that you got the dragon's breath.
Begonias are great. They have beautiful foliage and lovely flowers, and they flower for months and months and months. And you grow them sort of like in the al fresco area or something like that. Great source of, you know, like lovely coloured foliage, beautiful shaped leaves, and beautiful flowers. They're really wonderful. And I remember I haven't been there for many, many years. But up in Ballarat, I think it's around about this time of year, they have a begonia festival where people people are specialised in collect begonias, show off all their begonias there.
Yeah. And then you got a dragon's breath behind that.
Yeah, that's an interesting
cool.
plant. Look at that, it's a fiery dragon's breath.
Very cool indeed. All right, well, we'll get stuck into the questions because they've been coming in while we've been chatting away. All right, so Valiant asks, would you recommend using red foliage coprosma in a high number along a fence, or are they better as statement plants?
No, I've actually done a video where people had them on the fence up the driveway, and they look terrific. They make a beautiful narrow hedge, and you can trim them up quite tall.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing garden designs, I use them lots as mass planting or as a hedge. Lots and lots as a hedge, and sometimes I do them planted close so that they become like a wall of colour.
Oh, cool.
Other times I alternate the colours around a bit. I don't know, I kind of don't like doing like red, yellow, but I might do like, I did a chap the other day, and I put on the corner of he wanted a garden bed around his lawn, and on the corners and in the middle of the long side I put red ones, and then all in between I filled it in with yellow ones. So there's so much you can do with coprosmas. You can mix up the colours, you can clip them into balls and have rows of balls, or you can actually have them into a hedge. And coprosmas, for people who don't know, beautiful glossy foliage, and I say to my customers they're tougher than a cactus. One of the main reasons one of the main reasons I use coprosmas is sometimes I get a lot of very young people come in, never gardened before, and they've got their first house and their first garden, and you know that they're not real good at it. And what I like to, my philosophy is I want to give people a win when they do their first garden. If they do their first garden, then they keep at it and they keep on gardening. If it all messes up, it doesn't work out. And so coprosmas are one of my favourite plants to use because they're colourful and nice. And they're one of my favourite plants to use for that first time gardener, because what it does is it'll give them a win, because I've almost never had anyone come back and say their coprosmas didn't grow.
Wow, that's cool. That's amazing. So it's a good first time plant?
Yeah.
So then the answer to your question then is it's not a bad idea to have them all
I was really saying you can do anything with them. They're very, very versatile. In fact, there's a chap going past now just bought a whole tray of coprosmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I missed it. Oh, there
he
you go.
bought the Pacific Sunset, which is a lovely red one.
Yeah, the Pacific Sunset's really good. Check out, we did a video on the Pacific Sunset.
Yeah.
If you just search in YouTube, Hello Plants Pacific Sunset, it should come up. It's an awesome video. You really get to see the contrasting colours. Terry says hello on Facebook.
Hello, Terry.
And Johnny says, hi there, my carnations seem not to bloom well. What advice do you have? Thank you. From Jono.
I'd look around and I would find some Miracle Grow. You might find it in Bunnings. And Miracle Grow is a liquid fertiliser that's high in phosphorus, and it really encourages, it was designed, you know, for the American market where they plant lots of annuals and to get those annuals really flowering. Yeah. But I found that Miracle Grow gets anything flowering.
Right. Okay. That's pretty cool. It seems like an all-rounder, that Miracle Grow stuff.
Well, no. If you want the bush to expand quickly, use a more nitrogen-based thing. But when you want to stop growing and start flowering, so it slows the growth and encourages the flowering. And often plants that have got high nitrogen and good conditions but low phosphorus grow like crazy but don't flower.
Right.
So for flowering and fruiting, you've got to increase the phosphorus.
Okay, so Miracle Grow would be the best answer for Jono?
Yeah.
All right, Jono,
simple answer, yeah.
Simple answer for you there. Miracle Grow will do the trick. Shayla Rain just became the number 8 fan in the fan club.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know we had a fan club.
Wow, number 8. That's fantastic.
Keep going up those ranks there, Shayla.
Yeah.
Shayla Rain sent a heart as well. And Gunnar and Zabi sent some roses. Thank you. Christine sent a hearts as well.
Wow.
All right, so thank you guys for all that liking and sharing and all of that. That's great. All right, so next one. Only the Truth 82 says, what do you think of the hot pink corylines? Is it maybe cordyline?
Cordyline, yes.
Maybe cordyline?
Well, there's two of them. There's Pink Passion, which I don't like it much because Pink Passion grows a trunk. It's not very reliable or very good, I don't reckon. But the other one, Electric Pink, is terrific. And Electric Pink doesn't grow a trunk. It sort of multi-leaves and bushes up and doesn't grow too tall. So I think Electric Pink is a fabulous pink cordyline and really gives you a lovely... And what I love about it is that the colour is year-round. That's a really good feature. Whereas, you know, you come in, you see a beautiful flower and you buy it. It only flowers for a few weeks or a few months.
Weeks, yeah.
But with an Electric Pink cordyline and with some of your other flaxes and some of your and your coprosmas, you can have year-round colour easily.
All right, there you go.
And the Electric Pink's real tough too.
Electric Pink, yeah, check it out.
Frost hardy, heat hardy, drought hardy.
Good for Melbourne, is it?
Yeah, good for all of Victoria, I reckon.
Incredible. All right, there you go. Only the Truth 82. Hopefully you got to hear that answer. Jono says thank you. Alone Wolf says any skunky plants.
Skunky plant? What's skunky mean?
I don't know. It's probably another word for something else. Pretty funny. All right, so Vic Pape says, when is the best time to plant native trees and shrubs in regional Victoria?
I reckon it's in Melbourne. I like the end of February is the best time. But say we've got a place up in Shep, and at any rate, I reckon there it's going to stay hot up there. It's probably till the end of March, and so I reckon end of March, beginning of April. And what will happen is I found the
end
stuff.
End of March. Okay, so soon. Yeah.
So what happens up there is you a lot of people think spring's the time to plant, but it's not. Because what it is, it's only a short, particularly once you get out in regional Victoria, it's very hot and dry in summer. It's not the time to plant because from spring to the heat of summer is not very long, so the plant hardly gets established and it's in health. Yeah. And so whereas if you plant in Melbourne, I reckon end of February, and that's straight. Most people think no, it's not the time to plant, but what's happened in the end of February, the nights have got longer. The nights have got cooler, the early morning's cooler. It might zip up to 40 odd degrees, but it goes back down in the evening.
Yeah, it's quite cold at night.
So it's a short. So basically, at that time of year, if you're in Melbourne, and I think as you go up to a place like Shepparton or Bendigo or somewhere like that, the time's probably late March, because and that at that point the evaporation rates come right down, so you can water it and it'll stay wet for quite a while. And the roots will be growing and the plant will be growing and establishing itself and then ready to take off like crazy in spring. Like I'll be doing a lot of potting in the next 2 months, and then those plants will go crazy in spring and be beautiful when we're busy in October, November, December next year. I'll have lots of beautiful plants from my autumn planting. So I reckon that in the hotter parts of Victoria, you go a bit later, and around Melbourne and around the coast, you end of February.
All right, there you go, Vic Pape. That should answer that for your native trees and shrubs. Best time to plant in Victoria, so end of March, as Chris said just there.
Yep.
All right, and then Valiant Williams, we kind of answered it before. Valiant Williams was just asking, what is the tree behind you? So maybe we can talk about the Growers Direct Flash Sale.
So at the Aussie Direct Flash Sale last week, we had 100 specials direct from the grower, amazing specials. But to add a little excitement, we put this tree up for auction. It's a $700 or $699 weeping cherry. It's a white. It's going to have white blossom in springtime. And it's going to have white blossom in springtime, and it's got a beautiful thick trunk, fabulous. I mean, this is as good a weeping cherry as you could ever get anywhere. Like, this is the best. It comes from the best grower, fabulous weeping cherry. And we put it up for auction, and somebody paid just under $500 for it. So they saved $200 on this, and we all had a bit of fun. It was $5 bids, and up to $5. Some people were bidding as little as 10 cents. So you could do anywhere between 10 cents and $5, and it snuck up real slowly, and then right at the end it went a bit crazy.
Yeah, And we're going to have another one this week, which is going to be for an awesome forest pansy, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, so...
And it's when Chris does the final... So once we get to the timer, Chris is going to start auctioning, and it's the final hammer down, which is the winner, isn't it?
Yeah, so what I do is I say, going once at $200, going twice, and so it says $205, going once at $205, going twice at $205, oh, it's $210, like that. Yeah. And I get to hammer a lot.
Yeah, you get to hammer a lot. You'll find that the auction will go on for a bit, especially if it's a very good price. All right, so make sure to tune in to us on Friday.
Yeah, Friday at 12 o'clock on your favourite platform.
12 o'clock, and we open the bids from 12:30, and then they run right through to the end of the live, which is just before 2 p.m. when the actual real auction action starts happening.
Yeah.
Just before the end of the live.
Yeah, it goes berserk.
It goes berserk. Everyone's bidding on it.
Yeah.
So you definitely don't want to miss it.
And it can go cheap because that's why we put $5 bids on it, so that people can't suddenly throw $100 on it and kind of wipe everyone off the market. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It keeps it fun. Yeah, everyone can get involved. All right, cool. Next question comes to us over on YouTube from Kit Chibi, saying my grafted Grevillea silver sulfur planted June 2025 has grown well, but the past 2 weeks it's had a few browning leaves that fall off. There's lots of healthy flowers. Is it asking for more water?
I reckon that is. I reckon it sounds like we've had one of the driest summers I can remember. I think I'd have to cast my mind right back into the 60s to remember it being a hotter, drier summer. Yeah. And I remember back in the 60s we had some really dry weather where we were worried about the creek drying up and things like that. We used to live out in the country, and we had a creek that had never dried up, but it almost dried up in the 60s. Yeah. And so this really reminded me of long ago, a very, very extreme dry summer. And I've noticed plants, trees dying everywhere. And what I've been saying to people is that what your Grevillea, and this is what I think your Grevillea needs. It needs a really good deep soak. Yeah. And so what I do is I lightly cultivate around the base. I grab a bit of soil wetter, and you can buy that down at Bunnings. You buy it at the store here. Yeah. It's in most sort of garden shops, and it comes as a powder or a liquid. I kind of prefer the powder, but powder or liquid, they all work well. Yeah. Treat it. I normally go a little bit heavier than what they tell me to, so give it a decent sort of a dose. Give it a decent sort of a dose, and then get your hose, and now we've had that bit of rain if you're in Victoria.
It'll soak in deeply, yeah.
Get your hose just dripping on it. Yeah. And let it drip for 10 or 12 or 14 hours or 20 hours or something like that. Give it a real good deep dripping. And let that water get down nice and deep, because your Grevillea is quite, particularly your grafted Grevillea, it's got a silky oak, it's got a deep taproot. You need to get water down a good metre in the ground, and what you'll find is it'll stop yellowing and browning off some of those leaves.
All right, there you go, Kit Chibi. There you heard it. Expert advice on keeping it well watered, and yes, it sounds like it needs a bit more water. Yeah, and while
you're doing it, you might throw a little bit of native Osmocote on it too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Bit of Osmocote, bit of a feed. All right, cool. All right, hopefully that helps you out there, Kit Chibi, with the grafted Grevilleas. All right, good. We'll keep moving along with the questions. So our next one here comes to us from Al. I think we're missing the top of this question actually, because it doesn't really make sense. I was thinking Viburnum tinus, but is it okay to plant in late? Oh, maybe it isn't. Maybe it is just a question in its entirety. So they say, I was thinking Viburnum tinus, but is it okay to plant in late summer?
Viburnum tinus is, but Viburnum tinus is a bit of used to be a real favourite of mine. There's things I like about Viburnum tinus. It has beautiful fragrant flowers in springtime. It's very hardy, it's very, very long lived. But the problem I've noticed in the last 5 or 6 years, I've noticed that there's a red spider that really goes for it and decimates them. So you really, if you plant Viburnum tinus, you've really got to watch out for red spider. Yeah. And I think that the red spider gets into them when they're stressed by dryness or lack of nutrients. So I think under stress, they become quite vulnerable, and and it's a savage attack that they get, and it can actually wipe them out. So I haven't been using them as much as I used to in my garden designs, just because of that. So I still think they're a beautiful plant. I love the fine foliage, the density, and that my dad used to have me collecting 10 or 15,000 cuttings a year. I used to go around and trim a lot of hedges up in the hills for my dad to get the cuttings, because they used to be a very popular plant. And I've worked on some absolutely beautiful hedges. It makes the most lovely hedge, but you do have to be aware that these days you've got to keep them well watered and fertilised, and you may have to spray for red spider.
Okay, so it's a red spider that gets to them.
Yeah,
Is it okay?
yeah. So if I was I wouldn't say don't plant them, but I'd say plant with a little caution. Keep them well watered and fertilised even when they get old.
Yeah.
And when you get a sort of a silver white hue on the leaves, and it's time to spray them for red spider.
Perfect. All right, there we go, Al. The boss says in Melbourne. Maybe a follow-up for a previous question. Oh, here we go. I found the top of Al's question. Good hedge variety for dust screen in northwest New South Wales.
I reckon you could do better.
Still better than viburnum, you think?
I reckon. He said viburnum tenus.
So Al that was the previous question, right?
Yeah.
So we just asked, but the top of that question I just found it. So it's good hedge variety for dust screen in northwestern New South Wales, and then it goes, I was thinking viburnum tenus, but is it okay to plant in late summer?
I think I would much rather plant a Photinia. Photinia will give you the frost hardiness, and very few bugs or problems with Photinia. So you go like a Photinia robusta or a Photinia red robin.
Okay, so totally different.
Yeah, I think you find it's pretty hot and dry out there. I reckon that you might struggle with viburnum tenus.
All right, I'm glad we found the top of your question there, Al. It got lost in the comments section. Yeah, I thought there was something not quite right with it, because it sounded like a half question. All right, good. All right, Al, hopefully you got that advice you needed. Shayla says that hibiscus is beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, and then they followed up with, what hibiscus is that?
It's what we call an assorted. We've got assorted hibiscus here. We call it assorted, and it's a pink one.
It's a pink assorted hibiscus.
A pink assorted hibiscus, yeah.
All right, Big Nut says could have taken a cutting for free.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what plant they're talking about, but sure.
I think maybe the hibiscus.
Okay, there you go. And then let's see what else we got here. Gunnar says, is there an ideal time to plant Dichondra repens around my pavers?
Yeah, right. Well, actually, probably a month or so ago, but right now it's pretty good. Basically, Dichondra repens just sits still when it's cold and grows like crazy when it's hot. Grows like faster
so now
than
it's
anything.
good. Okay.
So it's nice and warm, and now would be a great time.
And they need plenty of water as well? Or?
Yeah, well, to live, not so much, but to grow like crazy, plenty of water, plenty of fertiliser. And the really important thing is to keep the weeds, stay on top of the weeds while it's covering the ground, because once it covers, you won't have much of a weed problem.
Okay. All right, there you go, Gunnar and Zabi. All right, let's see if there's any more questions here in the comment section. Thanks for all the comments, guys. Feel free to ask Chris a gardening question while we're here. Spaghetti asks, is it okay to plant fruit trees now, or is it better to wait until spring? Fruit trees now, or wait until spring?
That's an interesting thing. I reckon, I was thinking about that. We've got lots of potted fruit trees now, and I was thinking, are people better off planting them now, planting them in the winter, or planting them in the spring?
Yeah.
And I think it's like I said before, when you plant in the spring, it's only a very short haul to hot, difficult summer conditions, and the plants aren't really established.
Yeah.
Whereas, say if you planted, we've got beautiful potted fruit trees here now, and if you planted those nice potted fruit trees out there, well-established root systems on them, and you plant them now, they'll root into your garden and establish themselves beautifully before winter, and then after winter you've got this established fruit tree that can boom and grow like crazy in the spring, much better than what a freshly planted one could.
Yeah, cool, okay. All right, awesome. There you go, Spaghetti. That's some good advice there. And Shayla says, thank you, it's stunning, about the hibiscus.
Yeah, no worries.
And Gunnar and Xavier said, I'll plant them now. That's about the Dichondra repens.
Yep.
Twix asks, hello, what would you recommend for a beginner-friendly all-season flower for a sunny balcony? I reckon I could answer this because those I got those calabratias.
Yeah.
They are awesome in pots, actually.
And they go about 10 months of the year. They're not quite through the winter.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah.
All season. What have you got then,
But
Chris?
really, I think Emily's on the money. We've got a beautiful calibration at our place. It's just been flowering for as long as I can.
Yeah, ours has been flowering for 6 months, I reckon.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
So I think, and what you can do with calibration, they come in all different colours. And I did a video about a pot where they did 3 different colours in it. So you could multi-plant your pot and make it really colourful and interesting. And calibrations last you year after year if you water and fertilise them. And they don't quite do 12 months of the year. And I can't think of anything that really does 12 months of the year.
Yeah.
In flower. Let me think. Like it's only very obscure and they're not really that good. So I reckon that you nailed it with calibration because calibration they're
it's easy
I
too
think
because
they've
they
been-
said beginner, they want a beginner friendly, and I thought that's what I thought of straight
Plenty
away.
of water, plenty of fertilizer, and they go crazy.
Yeah, they go
And
crazy.
they come in lots of exciting colours. They're inexpensive to buy. Great beginner's plant.
You do have to water them like through that warm weather. You don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
to keep on top of watering, but if you do that, they're really easy.
Yeah, and I think that they're related to the petunia. I think somebody hybridized from the petunia
okay.
and kind of created a mini petunia, and they're even more floriferous than a petunia.
There you go. All right, there you go. Twix says thank you so much, or thank you so. The bees will be happy for sure. Yeah, they will be. Yeah. With the calibration, they definitely will. All right, Mabbit says howdy. Have a Robinia X ambigua tree. What's the best method to deal with the root suckers?
Put up with them.
Really, just give up on it.
I'm fiddling around with a Robinia that doesn't sucker so much.
Okay.
But there is no real Robinias sucker.
Yeah.
Now, what I do is that I would plant it in a spot where I didn't dig much. Like if you have a spot where you're going to be digging all the time, like say on the edge of the veggie patch, and as you chop and dig the roots, it suckers.
Yeah.
And
That's
so if you could minimise root disturbance around it, that's really the best you could hope for. And then
is there a way to suppress those suckers at all, or not really? Like a few rocks around the base, or that kind of look ugly though, wouldn't it?
Well, what I've found is that, say in Melbourne, for instance, Robinias, because we have low salt in the water and low salt in the ground, Robinias barely sucker.
Okay.
And they only sucker if somebody digs a trench or does deep digging around them and chops the roots in. They sucker like crazy.
They sucker like crazy, yeah.
But what I've noticed when you go north of the divide, where the soil and water is more saline, Robinias sucker. They'll just sucker like crazy. Whether you, and so in some areas like Mildura, Robinias are almost, no good for the garden because they sucker like crazy. But in Melbourne, they're not such a big problem. So, and I think it's to do with salt in the soil and the water, because Mildura has fairly high content of salt in the water and the soil.
And they sucker more crazier up that way, do they?
They sucker like crazy. Like there's people who have written the most hideous reviews about them. Like they planted a Robinia and after 2 or 3 years, the Robinia comes up like a lawn. The suckers come up like a lawn.
Yeah.
And I remember once I had a forest of them in my paddock, and I knocked the whole forest down, and they came up like a lawn. And what I did was I just slashed them off. I didn't poison them, I just slashed them off. Yeah. And they ran out of sugar after a while and they stopped growing.
Wow, there you go. Oh, that's Mrs. Bond who asked the question here, is the winner of the the Weeping Cherry behind you there.
Yeah.
She asked best wisteria to grow on house.
Okay, my favourite, it's a funny thing, I spent a fortune once years ago and bought a collection of all different coloured wisterias in from England, from Hilliers in England. And at any rate, after I grew them all, I did a series of archways and grew them all across these archways. And after I'd grown them for 5 or 6 years, I decided my favourite was the Chinese wisteria that everyone's got in their garden in Melbourne.
Yeah, okay.
And the reason why I like that is I've got about 3 Is somebody answering that phone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
The reason why I like them is that they flower in spring with no foliage on them. So you have absolutely no foliage on them, just beautiful purple flowers. Yeah, beautiful purple flowers. They're fragrant. The flowers are not enormous like some of the other varieties, but you can really see them because there's no foliage and there's millions of flowers. You have heaps and heaps of flowers, and then in the heat of summer, you start, and when it's covered in foliage, it's lovely and green, you just get the odd purple flower just studded all over it. So basically it's my favourite. A lot of the other Japanese varieties in our climate and other varieties in our climate tend to flower with all their leaves on them, and although the flowers are beautiful, they tend to be hidden in the foliage. So the one that's everywhere is called Wisteria sinensis, or the Chinese wisteria, and that's a sort of a purpley bluey colour, fragrant and heavy flowering with no foliage.
Perfect. All right, there you go, Mrs. Bond. We've also just sent you a direct message there asking if you can just DM us your contact details. We're not sure if the sales staff have contacted you about the payment for the winning of that auction, but congratulations. So just direct message us if you're still with us there. Oh, she said thank you, so she is.
Yeah.
So the verdict, sorry, was Chinese wisteria?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Purple Chinese wisteria.
And that'll look amazing with your amazing huge feature weeping cherry there.
Oh yeah,
it's still
white
behind Chris
blossom
there.
and purpley blue wisteria flowers. And the interesting thing about the wisteria is that you can grow them. People talk about wisteria trees.
Yeah.
And what you can do is you can create put a big strong pole up and put a wooden cross on top.
Oh yeah.
And chain your wisteria out, and then it'll hang down. And it could be kind of like a weeping. You can make a weeping wisteria like this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can make a weeping one, almost like a.
Yeah. You can grow them on the veranda. You can grow them on the fence. You can grow them on a trellis. But you can grow them up a pole and make them like a weeping rose or a weeping cherry. So they're very, very versatile in the garden.
Yeah, we're just showing some of the varieties we've got in store on the screen there as well. Yeah, it's like a pink and a purple one.
I've got the pink one there. Now the pink one, when I grew that collection, the pink one was my second favourite. Pink one flowered without too much foliage.
Yeah.
The foliage came, and the foliage, when it comes while it's in flower, and the foliage is slightly pink too.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. But that's a lovely pink, fairly small flower, very, very floriferous, lots and lots of flowers, fairly small flower, beautiful. And so my favourite of all was the Chinese, and my second favourite was this pink one here.
Beautiful. All right, so if you can direct message us, Mrs. Bond, that'll be amazing, just with your contact details, so we can get in contact with you about your winning prize. All right, let's keep going on with it. We're going to answer a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap up this live for today with Chris there. So Ariana asks, what do you think of Princess Fabiana for a small hedging under some lily-pilly standards in direct sun?
Princess Fabiana, I'm not sure what that is.
Let's have a look. I'll pull it up on. Oh, you haven't got the TV up there.
Maybe we jump to another question while you look up Princess Fabiana.
Yeah, all right, no worries. We'll have a look at that, and let's see if there's any more here. All right. Oh, okay. So I love Chris to design my garden. This is from King, but I can't get to you due to distances. What options do you have to get you to design?
If you talk to one of my staff here, we don't really like doing Zooms, but for people who can't make it here, we sort of cut out the Zooms, but for people who can't make it here for health reasons or distance reasons, if they make a special request, we can do a Zoom for them.
Okay,
so we can do a Zoom,
King.
and with the Zoom, we'll need photographs and plenty of information. So, and good set of photographs so that we can really get a picture of what we're doing.
All right, beautiful. All right, there you go, King, and they've said they're in Faulkner.
Faulkner?
No, I'm just kidding. I made that bit up. Sorry. No, so yeah, you can. There you go. Just follow Chris's advice.
The funny thing is, Faulkner's the next suburb, but I was going to go Crook, the distance. But I've had people do that. I've had people say, "Look, it's too far to come over." I said, "Where do you live?" They say they live in Faulkner, and it's like the next suburb. It's like 4 minutes away.
Yeah, it's very funny. Mrs. Bond says, I called Saturday and paid for it. Oh, that's great. Don't worry about contacting us then directly. That's wonderful to hear. And we look forward to you receiving your prize. All right, excellent. So we'll just ask a couple more here. So the Brown Hawk says, hi, I live in Adelaide. Is a Japanese maple a good choice for a feature tree out the front in our climate? It's showing some signs of stress already. Isn't Adelaide and Melbourne similar, or is they hotter and
Adelaide
drier?
is much hotter than Melbourne,
Okay.
and
You can tell
I think it's the wrong choice. I think that
wow.
what you want with your Japanese maple in Adelaide, because it really is, it's one of the hottest capital cities in
Really?
Australia.
I didn't realise. I thought we got their weather later or something.
But milder. We get
get
it
a
later and
milder
milder.
version, okay.
And I think that you need to consider relocating your Japanese maple that you've got.
Yeah.
Relocate it into a spot with morning sun and afternoon shade or dappled shade, but basically get it out of that heat and go for something else. I wonder what would be nice. Say if you like the Japanese, why don't you have a look at a crepe myrtle? And you can get crepe myrtles with purple leaves. Like you might have a purple leaf Japanese maple. You get beautiful crepe myrtles with purple leaves. What do they call them? They call them I can't think of the name, but yeah, if you look, you can get beautiful purple leaf crepe myrtles, and they have white flowers and pink flowers.
Crepe myrtle, pink one, is it?
Yeah, but I think for that sort of Japanese maple look, that beautiful Japanese maple shape, and for summer blossom and beautiful foliage, I think you couldn't go past, and loving the heat, consider a crepe myrtle.
Crepe myrtle for you there, the Brown Hawk, and relocate the maple. Would they relocate the maple in winter?
Yes, you'd wait till winter time when after the leaves fall off and relocate your maple into a spot with morning sun and afternoon shade or dappled shade or shade.
Okay, cool. And then just following back to Ariana's question about the Fabiana Princess, or Princess Fabiana, it's an Alstroemeria.
Oh, right, okay. And she wants to make a border with it.
What did she say? What do you think of Princess for small hedging under some lily-pilly standards?
Okay, so it's a beautiful plant. I love Alstroemeria. I was brought up on a flower farm. We had a couple acres of it growing wild, and it was actually a similar colour to the Fabiana. So yes, they want rich soil, plenty of water, plenty of fertiliser, and the only thing is that after they finish flowering, they die down for a few months and disappear. That's the only problem with them. But as long as you're happy with them dying down and disappearing, but then you've got that wonderful time when they erupt out of the ground and do their business all over again. So I think that they make a lovely border, and what they do is that you plant them a reasonable distance apart, and you'll find you'll be amazed how they multiply and grow and spread. But give them plenty of water, plenty of fertiliser, and dig the ground over and make nice rich ground for them.
All right, there you go, Ariana. That hopefully answers that for you. We're just going to answer a couple more and then we'll have to wrap it up. So Mabachino93 says, it sounds like a similar question to what we had before. Yeah, g'day Chris, have a question about my tree Robinia X ambigua cast roge. How do you maintain the root suckers? At my wit's end and about to get rid of it, but it's a shame because it's beautiful. Is that you sort of answered that already, yeah? Yeah,
look, I'm working on I've got a variety that doesn't appear to want to sucker much. There really is nothing much you can do apart from planting it in a spot where you're not going to be digging or disturbing it. And what I've noticed is that south of the divide, along the coast and in Melbourne, if you don't disturb them, they barely ever sucker. But north of the divide, they can sucker ferociously, and there's terrible stories of them having thousands of suckers and nearly ruining the people's gardens. So one way, if you can't, if you're in northern Victoria and the suckers are like crazy, I'd get rid of it.
All right, excellent. All right, there you go. That's a nice quick answer for you.
Or if you've got a country property, stick it out in the paddock where it won't really matter so much. Or in a spot where you can mow the suckers off.
All right, beautiful. All right, DJS, we'll make this the last question for the day. What is the best fertiliser for ornamental trees?
When I'm getting a small tree growing, I really like Osmocote because it's a very precise, slow, constant feed of fertiliser and everything like that. But if you had really, really big trees, you'd probably want something cheaper, like even like dynamic lifter or something like that. So
Oh,
if you had a really big tree, say you had a tree that was 8 meters tall and 5 meters wide,
Yeah.
I'd probably buy some dynamic lifter and put that
Dynamic.
around it. Yeah,
Okay.
because that's it's organic.
Once it's established, yeah.
Yeah, like for an established tree, I'd probably use something cheaper. I'd probably use something cheaper than your.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's your Osmocote
Chuck
here.
it on there, yeah.
And so Osmocote is a good what Osmocote is, it's a very reliable fertilizer that that releases over time. And I actually think it like putting out big doses of some fertilizers cause pollution, ends up in the river. But because this just dishes it out slowly as the plant requires it, it's not going to cause as much pollution as some other fertilizers.
All right. There you go, DJS. So Osmocote.
But for Osmocote for a small plant, and then for a bigger plant, I'd look for something cheaper like dynamic lifter.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing, say you had a great big oak tree or something, you're doing a great big oak tree, this would go nowhere.
Yeah, true. Okay. And Ariana says, thank you for answering her question about the Alstroemeria. The Brown Hawk says, thanks Chris, Mop Top was my second choice. Thanks for the tip, Ari, the crepe myrtles.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Right, and that's pretty much all of the questions here today, guys. Thanks
Actually,
so
you're
much.
here, just quickly, you're in a hot, dry situation there.
Mop Top good?
And I wouldn't do a Mop Top Robinia. If you're going to do a Mop Top, do like a Mop Top Catalpa or a Mop Top Norwegian Maple, otherwise known as a globosum, because neither of those sucker, and the Robinia is a nasty bit of a suckerer.
Yes.
So I think, but I really think, have a good look at those crepe myrtles.
All right, awesome. Rachel says, sorry, did I miss you talking about coddling moth in apples? Did you talk about it?
No, I
didn't
didn't,
talk about it today. Did you have was there a recent live where we
Look,
spoke
there's
about
sprays that you can get for coddling moth, and it's a matter of reading up on it and getting a spray for coddling moth and doing it exactly the right time of year. And one of the problems is that at Bunnings, they sell sprays that are incredibly safe. They're so safe, most of them, that they don't do anything.
Yeah.
But they're very safe.
They're not effective.
Yeah.
So safe.
And so I would tend not to go, if I was, I would tend to go to some, like Mitre 10 is still selling, some sprays with a bit of, and for coddling moth, you need some teeth in your chemical,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go, Rachel. So something from Mitre 10 or one of the big
Yeah, go and get something that'll kill the bugs, not just be safe for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still got to be able to eat the apple as well, right? So
Yeah, but they put the withholding period and everything like that. If you want to clean up coddling moth, you need a reasonably powerful spray, and you need to do it at the right time of year.
Okay.
Like at the time that it's fruiting and it's exhibiting everywhere, that's the wrong time. That's kind of like
too late.
Read up on it. You might have to tackle it next spring.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, well, with that said, we're going to leave the live Q&A here for today. We'll be back next Monday with another one at 12 o'clock, as we always do, and you can join us back then. Make sure to like and share this live far and wide. And thank you for joining us.
If you've got somebody struggling with their garden, bring them along to the next live. Bring them along to the next live, and we can help them. We can help them with their garden problems. Okay?
Yeah, every
Thanks.
Monday at 12 o'clock, and then don't forget to join us this Friday for our live Growers Direct flash sale, where we'll be auctioning off another really exciting feature tree.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. See ya.